Has to be a finger, hey? Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be a finger. It has to be a finger. That's right. Um,
Oh man. So hold on a sec. How are you boys doing? How's your week?
Good.
so far, so good. So far, so good.
So far,
Um,
so good. None of y'all were affected by the ongoing strike that screwed over tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people this
well,
weekend.
I am personally not affected, but my mom is. My mom was supposed to fly on Friday, and so
Yeah.
uh, I guess that's not gonna happen anymore.
Dude, everybody I know knows somebody. Like we were gonna
Yep.
look after Stevens, Mark, and Ashley's kids this weekend. He like surprised her. He got the he booked it about a month ago or so. He surprised her Thursday with it, like tickets to Vegas. It was just the two of them. They're gonna do a little getaway for her birthday. He got tickets to Backstreet Boys, like her all-time favorite band. They're playing at the Sphere.
Oh, the sphere. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I've seen videos. Yeah.
yeah. Same. And then yeah, they ended up not being able to go, and so we just ended up having all four of them over anyways on Saturday night and did like a barbecue when the sun went down, had a fire.
Nice.
It's kind of fun, man,
Nice.
because the kids were all at the park and I think it was like about 10 o'clock, but it was, it's darker now at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, should we go see what they're up to? Like, just go check on them. It's dark. Sure. So we walk over to the park. Kind of like walking up and it's just the four of them and they're just sitting on the swing sets. Two of them are sitting in the swings and the other two are standing. They're not swinging. They're just like chatting. And we're like, oh, like, all right, let's go. Let's go. Like, just back away. Like, don't even let them see us, Cause I just think like, man, that's like, I just remember that being so cool when you're young, like really young and it's like late. You're just
Yeah.
out and you're just like you're just out to be out.
Hmm.
Those are the stories that are like, oh yeah, we were out till like 2 in the morning, like at the park. Just,
2 in the morning. Good.
I mean,
Okay.
no, you know what I mean? Like for
Yeah,
kids,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I get it.
because they were in, I don't know, I think they went in at about 11, but
Whoa. Animals. Filthy animals.
so crazy.
Um,
What about
I
you, Hayden? Do you know anybody affected?
Yeah, yeah. Were you gonna fly anywhere anytime soon?
What, am I gonna fly anywhere? No.
That's true. I guess you have a
I'm
full
already in
load,
another
school
country.
load.
I'm already in another country.
Hey,
No.
when's your place done, Hayden? When's your move-in date again?
Yeah,
Do you
very
have
good
one?
question. Very good question. They kind of stopped working about 3 weeks ago because they were like done to the point that they had to wait for us now. But
Right.
All right.
our electrical guy is weird. He's like, "You need to finish your painting before I can finish the electrical." And we're like, "Why?" Turns out he thought we were spraying.
Just leave the covers off. Tell him to just leave the covers off.
Yeah, well, he has to like attach. And I'm like, I didn't understand it. And then he's like, "Oh, I thought you were spraying, so that the airborne paint could affect the wiring." I'm like, "Okay, but now you know that we're not spraying. We're just roller painting." And he's still like, "No, I have to wait." So he's waiting for us to finish the primer at least, and then we're getting our doors delivered sometime this next week, like the bedroom doors and whatnot. And then I think Alex is figuring out the bathroom tile and stuff sometime soon. So then it'll at least be, once the bathroom tile is in, then we can get a hot water tank and an actual toilet. So you've got that there. And then electrical can come in and do the heating and the lighting, and then the rest of it we can kind of do while we're in there, if that makes sense. Like put the flooring on and finish painting and all that stuff. So it's probably still 3-4 weeks away from livable, not done but
Mm.
livable.
Hmm.
And then I can
Yeah,
have you
toilet would
guys
be
over.
important.
Yeah, right now it's just a hole in the ground.
Mm.
It's a
Hey,
good
speaking
thing.
of holes, Hayden. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, I've been meaning to bring this up. I know that was a weird segue, but trust me, it lines up. Uh, because when we were talking about unwritten rules, like I don't know how many episodes back, and you said when you see a hole to put something in, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, is that
Did you
is that
find a
thing?"
hole that you put
But
something
then,
in?
easy now. We no, there's two instances that happened to me where I was like, "God damn it, Hayden's fucking right," because children and electrical sockets, man, like it's a real thing. Like kids just like as you get older, I think you lose that instinct a bit. I think maybe that's why sometimes you still get the urge when you know to like to do it. But man, that's like you go all the way down to like our infancy, and yeah, that's in us. We're like, hey, what's this?
What can I put in
What
here?
can I put in here?
As long as it's not metal,
Yeah.
anything you want.
So I had to give you credit. I was like, you know what? He's fucking right. That is like you. Yeah.
See, what does that tell you? Maybe my brain is too.
And Shao,
it's-
you were telling me about putting something in a hole last week.
That was in confidence, and I refuse to talk about it right now.
I do feel like Justin was the last person to talk about putting something in a hole.
Yes.
But he was like, I'm calling an audible because I want to put something in a hole. So he changed.
He did.
He changed Gladiator, but then we went back to it. So how was Creed? I ended up going to a concert on that night as well, but not Creed.
Creed, so it was fun, but I literally only knew the last three songs. It's the classic
big
ones that
hits.
everyone knows. It's like the 6 Feet from the Edge one, and then Can You Take Me Higher, that one, and then the last one was My Sacrifice, which I've heard but not as familiar with. But it was fun. I mean, it was just
Was that Rogers?
yeah.
Was it a big
Yeah.
good crowd?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty packed. A lot of, I don't know, a lot of like small town. I mean, there's no other way to say this. I went with another friend who's from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, like a small town, whatever. But there's a lot of like, even she said that people who live there are pretty trashy. And yeah, so there are a lot of those. I mean, it was fun. It was fun though. It was fun. Everyone just there to have a good time and drink and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know too much about the band. Justin, do you know Creed? Do you know much about Creed? I'm sure you know a couple of songs here and there, or
wouldn't
maybe you
say-
heard them. Heard of their songs, I'm
Yeah. All I know is that I'm supposed to hate them. I don't know why. They
It's
have
like
some
Nickelback.
songs I've heard.
I feel I feel like they're
not
the American
great.
Nickelback, right?
Yeah, no. I think that's too far. I mean, in essence, that you're just supposed to hate them, but Nickelback actually put out fucking hits, man. Like hit after
They have
hit after
they have
hit.
more hits, I think, than Creed.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Creed
But,
has like
so. I
one,
feel like
maybe.
Creed was a follow-up to Nickelback.
Yeah, I think Creed did, like Hayden was saying. I think one, two,
two hit
Two
albums.
hits.
They've only got like
albums
four
or
albums.
songs. Albums.
Albums.
Hit albums.
Well,
Probably albums because of 2 songs on the album.
well, Human
Yeah.
Clay was when they exploded, and that was in like '99, and that had all of those songs that you were talking about. But then like the follow up had, I think, 1 or 2 on it as well. But they were so
think
big
too-
for like a 10-year period.
I
I just started making the circles on social media again, like people using their songs and stuff. But I feel like Shao,
Yeah.
back then, now, if an artist puts out a good song, you could just, listen to that, add that song to your playlist on Spotify or something.
Yeah.
Back then, if an artist had a good song, 2 good songs, 3 good songs, you had to buy the whole album anyways.
Yeah, and go to track 6. Like
So
skip.
even
skip,
having good songs would boost your
yeah,
CD sales.
yeah, and
What was
I,
your go-to, your cruising in high school CD?
oh, high school CD. Oh, okay. This does not age well. but I was really into Late Registration, like Kanye's album,
I was like,
like
what?
in high school.
Oh,
So it
dude.
was
Yeah,
yeah, I like
2000s
that one
rap
a
was.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you,
But
Hayden?
yeah, that didn't.
Mine.
Well, Hayden in high school.
Yeah, what was big
what
in
were
the
the
80s?
hits? What were the hits? Yeah,
Give me
late
some
70s.
credit. I was born to run. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that a reference we're supposed to understand?
It's a Bruce Springsteen album. Shao got it, but he's got a mouthful of drink that he's trying not to
It's
spit
so
everywhere.
long ago. It's so
I
good.
know.
Oh
No,
God.
the ones that probably that were on high repeat were Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah, Slash guy.
Yeah, that's Slash guy, and maybe like big ones, which was greatest hits of Aerosmith, but like up to the 90s. So it was like their midpoint. It was when they started coming big again in the 90s, when they had like Dude Looks Like a Lady and Mrs. Doubtfire, and that was like their second coming.
Right. When did Armageddon come out?
In like the late
With their
90s.
song.
That would have been, yeah.
Yeah,
That,
Hey,
that was
I felt like
that was
99.
that was usually the last song at the school dances for me. The Armageddon,
Oh.
freaking, you know what I mean? And then everyone just dances like this.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? What was it again? What was it again? God damn it!
Uh,
Uh,
I don't
All the
want
lyrics.
to
I could be
close
your-
my eyes. Right, that one.
Don't want to fall asleep because
I miss you, babe.
baby.
I don't want to miss
babe.
babe. That one. Yeah.
You know
Hayden,
that we've
take it
sung,
away.
we've
Take
sung
it
this song
away.
on the podcast before. Do you
Did
not
we?
remember?
I know we talked about the animal crackers thing.
Exactly.
I remember
and
the
that-
Animal
and,
Crackers
and
thing.
Oh,
you,
and then
you
I
sung
went
it then
back.
as well. But yeah, those were mine. So it was like Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses were on, because we had the tape deck. Didn't even have a CD player in the car. So it had to be on the tape in the tape deck. We had
Justin, what about you?
CDs.
High school, I would say, as a mix, man. There's this album by Refuse, The Shape of Punk to Come. I listened to a lot of like Eminem show. I really liked. Like, it's big into like 50 Cent and G Unit.
Oh, yeah.
When that whole thing kicked off. Slipknot, their original, their self-titled debut. And honestly, like, yeah, I'd say go-to is probably like Refused. Actually, AFI, Hayden, you probably know, Sing the Sorrow, not Sing the Sorrow. Is that
Yeah.
the name of their album?
Yeah. The one that
With
had like Girls, Not Grey.
and all that on it.
Yeah.
Mid-high school, so grade 10. 10th grade is when I first really got introduced to the Chili Peppers, and that's when it kind of took over as well. So I just, back when they had, what's the CD store? HMV? Is that
Yeah.
the one? HMV, yeah.
Yeah, HMV.
I would go there. There was one in Oak Ridge, and I would go there and buy their CDs. I remember skipping school to buy their double album, Stadium Arcadium, when it first came out.
Nice.
My mom was not pleased when she found out. Anyways,
Oh,
oof. Good
Oof.
times. Good times.
all right. As much as I love to look back and reminisce on the good old days, there's something else that I want to look back on that possibly was trying to recapture some of its own good old days. And that is Gladiator II. Because Gladiator II is a movie that we decided we were going to watch this week. I think Shao had seen it before, but Hayden and I hadn't. Hayden really wanted to see it. And I'm not gonna lie, when it first came out, I was excited about it. And then when I saw it was out on Paramount Plus, I saw it. But it took me quite a while to watch, and it actually took me this podcast to be like, yeah, let's watch it. So it was this weird thing, and I don't know if it was because I loved the first one. The first one was so good that I was like, like if it doesn't hold up, then that's going to somehow affect the first one. I don't know. Anyways,
Did you
So we
hear
decided
much
to
about
watch
it? Maybe
it,
maybe
and
that deterred you too, though. Like maybe you heard, um, heard it was good, but not like mind blowing, or you know what I mean. Sometimes that will deter me or make me not want to watch as quickly.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't hear too much about it, to be honest. I'm usually pretty good with not hearing. I mean, War of the Worlds, heard because it was so bad. It was so bad. It was a zero. And actually, like this one, Gladiator II, I laughed because I was like, oh my God, in the first 10 seconds, there's more tension built than the entire War of the Worlds. And I just thought, in Gladiator 2, it opens and he's there, and then there's just like one bell that rings, ding, and they look at each other, and he instantly knows what to do, and he's getting ready, and then he's off. And I was like, man, if this is War of the Worlds, that would have been like 58 fucking pop-up notifications about something going on. And he just had one single bell, one ding, and he's like, all right, I know what's expected of me, I know what I got to do.
Hmm.
So I thought that was really quite funny. And then I even messaged you boys because like the first 8 minutes, I was like, like the graphics was fucking terrible. But I don't want to get into mine first. I want to open it up. I want to sort of do like a round table type thing.
Yeah.
And I'll just, we'll talk. I'll throw out questions. We'll discuss them. Um, and actually, the first one, big picture. Okay, this is a big picture question. I'm going to throw it to Hayden first. Did Gladiator 2 actually need to exist? Did it justify itself as a sequel, do you think? Like,
No, I don't think it needed
or
to
were they
exist.
just trying to catch the nostalgia? Go ahead.
After seeing it, I don't think it needed to exist as it was. If it decided to do it, spoiler alerts, without linking to the original, I think it would have been much better.
Interesting.
Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, that is interesting.
I'll pass it to Shao.
Yeah,
You have
I
more.
would like you to, because it's interesting because it's like you like the world, but you didn't like how. Did you feel like it was too constrained because it had to follow that path? Whereas if they created something completely different, they could sort of have more freedom with it.
Well, I went into it not knowing anything about it. So I didn't research to see if it was at all linked to the other one. Because I was like, oh, maybe Ridley Scott's going back to, Swords and Sandals epic film, but he's going to tell something that's, hundreds of years in the future, or a different type of gladiator story. And then it was only set 16 years after Maximus's death. And I was like, oh, so it's actually it's in this almost the same time frame. And you mentioned it just earlier in talking about it, but I thought the first one the one thing that irked me a little bit. In the first film, it's never really explicit from memory that said that Maximus and the daughter of the Caesar were at all romantically linked and had a child. Like, it was just kind of alluded to that they had a thing for each other. And then in this one, they're like, no, you are Maximus's son. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, hang on, I don't know how I feel about that. Because in the first one, it's not explicitly said that the child is his. So I thought it was a little bit, like, too convenient to link the two stories like this. It's like, but I see why they had to do it. It's like, oh, he's obviously a child of noble blood, and that's why they had to send him off, and he ended up in the desert alone. But then it all kind of was too convenient to link the stories together.
Mm.
That was like my main
What do
thing
you
that I
think,
wasn't
Shaf?
a fan, and there's
Well-
many more, but
Yeah.
not to say that I
Yeah,
didn't
I-
enjoy it, but
Yeah.
Because I didn't really, I don't remember, or sorry, I should say, I don't know if when the last time you guys watched the first one was, but I haven't watched it in a long time. And like Hayden, I didn't really do much research on it. I just kind of know that they wanted to make a sequel that honors the first one, but it's like a grand, they had a very ambitious sort of view of the whole project. And I think overall, I agree with Hayden that as a sequels usually right off the bat for me anyway just has the bar lower. That's no matter what, just because it's so rare to have a sequel that's better than the first. But I wouldn't say it's a horrible movie. It just didn't live up to what I thought it would be. And seeing some of the I saw this in theaters, as Justin mentioned that I did see it a few months ago. And that's an experience. I think this kind of movie generally I will tell people like you should go watch it in theaters. But I think there were some scenes involving like CGI or whatever that when you see it in big screen it's pretty lackluster. I think
The opening bit was so bad.
Opening wasn't
I'm
great.
not- I mean,
My the thing that I stood out for me was the it's not only the CGI, but there's a lot of like historical sort of questionable things is when they did the battle with the sharks in the arena.
That's what I said. I was like, how'd they catch sharks?
That part was everyone was like, what the fuck? Like a lot of historians also were on Instagram or whatever, TikTok saying like, what the hell was that? Like, yeah, there were sharks, but they didn't fill up the arena with water in that way and whatever. And then the director was saying, Ridley was saying that he said, oh yeah, it happened. It's like we're doing it like to the book and how it was back then. I'm like, I don't think that's right.
Well, the water,
Wait,
the filling of the
did
water
what hap-
actually happened, but I don't know about sharks.
Yeah,
I feel like I missed a whole
apparently
part of
they-
the movie. There were sharks in the Coliseum. Are you?
Yeah, there's
are you
one.
guys
There's
fucking
one
me right now?
fight with like they had like pirate ships in
The-
like,
yeah.
right, like the big
What?
ships in the
What?
Coliseum, and they filled it with water, and there are sharks, and they just go in circles to like battle each other, and then
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Did you take a shit during that like
Guys,
5 minutes?
you're-
Maybe
I,
it wasn't a
this
long
is so
scene. I don't
weird.
think.
This is so weird because I was listening to you and I was like, okay, and then you're going, I'm like, is he just making shit up? But Hayden's going, did they talk behind? Like, did they elaborate this thing to see if they're both like? Because I don't remember missing, and I don't remember sharks. Like,
It
I
was
don't know
like-
what's happening right now.
It was the second day of the games, and they had like the Persian army versus the Numidian army, and they were on the Roman ships in the Colosseum fighting each other.
I'm very curious as to what I was doing during this part. Anyway, sorry.
And yeah, but I was like, oh, it's really cool because I mean, I grew up learning that the Romans flooded the Colosseum to do water games in there. Like I understood that as something that really happened. But to have the sharks in there, I was like, one, how did they catch them in the wild? And are there any sharks of that aggressiveness in the Mediterranean Sea? And to get them, and Rome isn't on the ocean, so
Yeah.
I think that was a little far-fetched. I think that was literally done for sensationalism, but
Yeah, and I also read that they did flood it, but it wasn't nearly that deep of water. Which I mean, even still, it would be really hard. I mean, I know they're smart people, but it would be really hard to make a structure that you can fill with that much water and then drain it and then whatever. It's I
those
can't even
Roman
How
imagine.
easy would it be
aqueducts.
to get that much water there? To
Yeah,
transport
so
it?
that's another thing. I don't know. They have like probably canals and aqueducts and bullets and shit like that, but I don't know how that would actually work.
Yeah.
They're just
in
gonna
modern times.
create a drought for the citizens just for their amusement.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna have no drinking
Yeah.
water for a week while we fill the Colosseum.
Okay, well you don't drink salt water, but
Well, that's
maybe
another
they did
thing.
back
That's
then.
another thing. It's like it wouldn't have been salt water. They would have used their aqueducts of fresh water to fill it, which
They
makes
just got
even
this-
more sense.
slaves bucket them from the ocean.
Yeah. Get enough salt in there.
Only a 6-day walk. You'll be fine. Don't drink the water. I'm gonna start by saying, okay, because a lot of what we talk may be good, may be bad, but I'm gonna start by saying I liked the movie more than I didn't like it. The first 8 minutes, I was really
That got me.
I
just
switched
to,
it off. I turned it off. I stopped it. Kate, hold on. I have to. It was like I think I messaged you, Shao, because yeah, Kate was done. Less than 10 minutes.
which just a way of looking that up.
Unhooked. What? Yeah, sorry.
No
Go
go. Have you found it?
No, go.
I was gonna say like the first like catapult that explodes on a ship happens at like 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So you were literally 90 seconds away from having it becoming exciting enough for. I was like, wait. There's like a sea
wasn't- no,
massive
it wasn't
battle
even that, it
within the
was-
first 10 minutes.
But the battle, the graphics were so bad.
I don't know
like,
what you
it
guys
was-
were watching. I thought it was.
Oh, it was atrocious. It was so slow, and I was kind of with her, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, what am I can't do two bad movies 2 weeks in a row." But yeah, she said she was unhooked. She wasn't hooked. She was unhooked, and she swam away already. I forget how exactly, but it was just like the most unreal thing. So stopped it, started playing another movie. But that said, turned out to be an okay movie. Hayden, I think that's very interesting because I was like, yeah, I didn't know how I didn't think it worked. Like for me, okay, you're doing a sequel to a movie. It's immediate after the story continues, there's something. But for me, like when you have this much time between sequels, there's got to be like a really good fucking reason that you're continuing this story for me. There has to be. Why am I coming back to this? The graphics, the time, the nostalgia, like that stuff's all good. It was all good. But yeah, the story for me, I was like, it didn't feel necessary. Like there was no, it's like, okay. Even, yeah. So, but it's interesting. I wonder what it'd be like done a different, like, way, not him being the returning son of the bloodline.
Sure. In terms of, I mean, I think in general we've been kind of focusing a little bit here more on the negatives. I mean, there are negatives of this movie for sure, but I think for me, one of the positives is I think in general, overall grand scheme of things, I think some of the performances were quite good. I think the one of the main things
Okay,
I
so
remember.
can I post my next question then?
Yes,
Before you
go
get to that, because it's about characters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Paul Mescal.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he's the new Russell Crowe. Who do you think brought the stronger gladiator energy between the two of them?
Oh, Gladiator energy. Hayden, do you have a easy answer? Is yours
Yes.
like? I'm guessing you're saying Russell, but why?
Well, I have to preface it with a little bit extra here of not, again, I enjoyed the film. I enjoy those types of films. I wish there was more of that sort of period made. I really like those old epic mythology or historical based films of that ilk. But I felt that there were too many stories being told at the same time. You had the Gladiator, you had Pedro's character, you had Denzel's character who did a 180 in the last third of the film, which felt very rushed. You had the Mad Emperors. There was a lot of stories going. I think they needed to cut one out, and it would have been a little bit more tidy, I guess. Because, like, case in point, you had Denzel suddenly goes, see this scar here, this is the marking of your husband or whatever. I'm like, why are you introducing new information in the last third of the film? Like, I don't know what the hell that's like. What is that? That's bad writing, Ridley. Come on. And like, he was just this trainer.
Yeah, Ridley, what do you know?
He was just this trainer of gladiators, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to usurp the throne and basically weasel my way into politics and create the fall of Rome and then run it as a politician, which is an exciting story on its own. But then you've also got the general, who was like Maximus's character, who was not a fan of the way that the Romans were going, lost their way, so he wanted to return it. That's a good story there. The returning son, you've got a good story there. But the three of them together, it's kind of like a Spider-Man 3 where there's too many things all going at once. But anyway, the two mains of the two separate films, I still feel that Russell Crowe did it better because he was allowed more time to do it better. Whereas the new fella, I've forgotten his name already,
Paul
had to compete with these 2-3 other stories before he got his part. So I felt like none of them was a leading through line. Even though he started off, we see him with his wife in his life. He loses his wife in the first 5 seconds, and you get the revenge plot. Boom, I get it. The whole time I was hoping that he would have a reconcile moment because it was his mum's new husband. So technically his stepfather. I thought they would have had a better reconcile, and they two together would have usurped the mad emperors, you know. But instead,
Yeah, I
he
was kind of
gets.
hoping they would.
Yeah, same.
But he gets shot with a bunch of arrows, and then a Denzel comes in and tries to do his thing. I feel like the story was written to a point, and then it was written differently from that point on.
Yeah. Hey, wives getting killed in the first 5 seconds sounds familiar. Sean, I'm going to throw the same question to you, and then you can elaborate more on this character stuff that you're going to get into.
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Paul because I do think he did a great job. But yeah, I think it's hard. I mean, to step into those shoes, those sandals, maybe, if you will. But no, Russell's just there's just something about. I mean, that cast in the first one in general. I mean, yeah.
Joaquin
I mean, the second, Joaquin. Are you kidding me? But the second one is also. Do you have some big hitters as well? However, yeah. So I'll have to go with Russell in this one. But the main thing I was going to get at was Denzel's character. I remember I was just really confused about his accent for a while, or lack of.
I was going to
accent.
say, I was impressed that he managed to sort of. He tweaked it just enough to make him sound like he wasn't from the United States.
I think there could be more tweaking, but because I think he slips in and out of it, or maybe I just heard it sometimes. But
there was one part where I was like, oh, that's 100% a Denzel-ism way of talking, and
yeah, and he said motherfucker or something. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
No, it was a part where
I thought it was my.
I thought his accent was okay. I thought it was okay. I mean, he's got quite a distinct voice to begin with, but there was one part where I was like, this is like Training Day Denzel. And it was when he was talking with the smaller twin, the one that wasn't as... He tried to kill me in the womb or whatever, and Denzel's character was like, you remember that? Of course, like literally just that one line, I was like, there was no accent added onto it. It was very like sarcastic wit, which hadn't been seen by that character at that point. I had a little chuckle to myself because I thought.
Do you think he ad-libbed it, or do you think
I
was
think he
something else
did.
and he put it in a little?
I think he might have ad-libbed it because I was like, it didn't feel like it needed to be there, but it was.
Right.
Nothing that was bad, but I was just like, okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I kind of forgot that Denzel was in the movie, which actually brings me to my next question for you guys. Which new character surprised you the most, for better or for worse? Like, which one were you surprised about?
I was surprised. I was hoping that Pedro Pascal was going to have more. I thought it was really going to be him and... I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the other dude's name. Paul Mescal or whatever it is. It's like almost the same.
Yes.
Paul Mescal. I thought those two were going to be the main two. So I was surprised at that. But if that's not what you're meaning by the question, do you mean like, Justin, what surprised the character in the story, or just like the portrayal of character, or?
Okay, it could be whatever. Which new character surprised you the most? I mean, if it's the storyline of a character that surprised you, he's a new character, so it surprised you for like worse, his character not having the arc you expected.
Yeah.
Or I guess the surprise is just it wasn't the arc you were expecting from that character.
Yeah, I was hoping he would have more flesh out. He was, I think, the same as Maximus's character from the first one, if they had followed him more closely, because he was the general of an army who was obviously at his wit's end of doing the deeds of the emperors. And you can tell that he doesn't give two shits about the emperors, but he's just following protocol with how he has to talk with them. Hence why he creates this uprising, which we don't see anything about. It's just like, I've got 5,000 men that will go to the death with me. And I'm like, how did you gather those people? Like, how did you get all those people? Where are they? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I felt
was
too
all
with his
very-
character, like he didn't get the like his redeeming moment when he, is killed in the Colosseum. He didn't earn it. And that's by no fault of his own. Like, it's not that Pedro did a bad job. He didn't have much to work with. Like, it would have been nice to see him do more than just, like you say, I have an army waiting for me. You tell them to give them, or whatever. And I was gonna say give him the ring, but it wasn't even him who gave him the ring. Like, and then so he has this, he could have had this, if you're gonna kill him off and it's not gonna be you and your son-in-law, like, and he's supposed to have this like epic death scene, he gives his life for the revolution. I felt like he didn't earn that.
It's
Yeah,
not
There
like
was
when
nothing earned.
it's not like when Boromir gets shot the same death in Lord of the Rings, where he has a redeeming moment with Frodo. If you guys remember, he tried to steal the ring, but then he has a moment where he protects him, and ultimately he gets killed for it. That was the exact same scenario, but done infinitely better in terms of giving the character a better, I guess, story arc. I don't know. I just felt like it was a little rushed for his character.
Yeah, I think for me, I was pleasantly surprised at how much I kind of liked seeing the creepy brothers. I thought they did really. I don't know. I just kind of
They really got off in murder.
I liked their characters and I just liked their performances. I liked. I just kept thinking outside of the movie where I'm like, oh, I think these characters would be so fun to play, and I thought they did. They looked like they had fun with it. So I really enjoyed watching them, and it was surprising to me in that sense. I do agree with Hayden that Pedro's role in the movie, it wasn't. I don't know. Yeah. I think you just touched on it. That his arc was a little bit lackluster, and I thought because he as an actor I feel like he's around the peak of his career. I don't know, maybe not the career, but he's has so much noise, so much whatever in the past maybe 2-3 years that I thought he was going to have a more redeeming quality, or like a more like a bigger part in this whole thing, which
Yeah.
didn't. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just because he's at the peak doesn't mean he needs to have it. But I just assumed that it was gonna be like him, and it'll look good on camera, and it'll be like epic, that kind of thing. It didn't really pan out that way.
I'm surprised you liked the brothers as much as you did, because I thought they were far worse and way more fucking annoying than the brothers in Happy Gilmore. And you hated those guys. I would have rather seen them walk around with baguettes as sticks. But okay, so let's move on from.
Can I just say something
characters and
quickly?
all that. I want to move into theme, a little bit of theme.
Okay.
Yep.
No, I was
Oh,
just
I
going
really
to
wanted
say.
to say no. You thought I was going to say no, didn't you?
I was like, is he gonna just shoehorn me out
I
of
like
this
to be surprised.
conversation? Were the brothers a result of incestuous birth? Is that why they were like fucked up? Is that?
Oh, I was under the impression that they were. I'm not sure if it was confirmed, but I thought there was some inbreeding going on.
Because there was that little conversation with Denzel and that other guy where they were scheming about whether or not Mescal's character was the son of Maximus, and then they were talking about the children of, and I'm like, wait, who are these Roman names? I can't remember who all these characters are, and if you're referring to people from the first film, that film came out 25 years ago, like, so I was like, wait,
Yeah, we could use some flashbacks. I felt like some Happy Gilmore 2 flashbacks.
well, it started like that.
like,
Like the opening
Yeah.
credits was like painted stuff of the first film, and I was like, oh, so
Yes.
it is directly related. Because I didn't know that, like, but I was like, wait.
I thought that was a clever way of doing like, you know how in TV shows they go like, or recap, like they recap the previous
Yep.
movie or the previous. I thought that was a really clever way of doing a recap. I was very impressed by that actually.
But yeah, so that was all I was wondering was like, what is that why we think they're a little bit whoo in the head, a little bit crazy, and one more so than the other?
And not just to mention that they look a little
Well,
questionable too.
Because they were the children of Joaquin Phoenix's Caesar, were they not?
I think so.
And he slept with his sister, I think they were saying. I don't know. That's why. Shao likes that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm glad we took those 5 minutes to satisfy your desire about incest. So we're gonna move on to
My desire. Well, that's why I watched Game of Thrones. Oh wait, that's you. That's you.
Yeah. No, that is me. Yeah. It's totally normal for that time. You know, like it's cool.
Well, they did do that throwaway line
all-
about sleeping with boys, and Denzel's like, "I like doing that sometimes too." Like that's.
Oh
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
But yes, that was more acceptable back then, as just the way it was.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm
moving on
happy
to
that's
themes.
changed. Themes and tone, yes. Okay. So the first Gladiator, it was all about revenge and honor. What do you think this one was really about? If the first one's revenge and honor, I mean, you could argue that that's what this one's about.
Yeah, there's
too, but
I
that's
was
kind
gonna
of-
say there's probably a little hint of that.
Is it really
Or
the same? Like,
sprinkle in a little redemption in there. Sprinkle in little, sort of like, I don't know. Lack of words
Redemption?
here. What about the bookworm? Bookworm might know better adjectives.
yeah. What do you think? What do you think the theme of this one was?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I think they tried to play it out as revenge straight
And maybe
away.
it is the same. Maybe it is.
But I don't. There's no honor there because he wasn't. You know, he wasn't a general of an army that was turned on by his own people, like Maximus was. But I found it interesting. Like Denzel kept saying that he had rage in him. You know, I see the rage, and he played the character like Paul Mescal played the character very, very well. But I didn't see this rage that he kept referring to in the film. And yeah, when he fought, he was angry, but it was a different kind. Anyway, so yeah, I think a revenge was a theme. And then I don't know what else. Like redemption for what? But because I mean,
Yeah.
our Gladiator was not even because his story begins as a child, where he gets sent
Yeah, and I
away.
think that
But yeah, I don't know that in terms of. I mean, just rambling right now. Just in terms of the theme, is that I think there. I don't know if this is part of the plan, but I think there is a lot of. Is this even a theme where they just if you talk about, like, just corruption or like sort of.
Oh,
'Cause
like,
people
yeah.
were, you know, like there's like repression, oppression rather as well. But
Like a commentary on society.
yeah,
told through
yeah,
their
but I feel
story.
like I feel like that's not as much of a big theme of the movie. I do think it's pretty much what we talked about. I think it's kind of more about the vengeance of it and like maybe, or a little bit of justice here and there. But like I don't know. It's
Okay, we've done characters, we've done theme. I have a couple more questions I want to ask you guys about this. We're gonna end on a fun one, a what if. But before that, because there was a lot of action in this, there was the special effects, all that, fighting in the Colosseum, just like the first one. There's these big epic battles, cool death scenes. So my question for you boys is, what was one of the most jaw-dropping action sequences? Like one that you're like, fuck yeah, here we go. And if you had to cut one, which one would you cut?
Hayden, do you have answers off the bat?
I can just run through them real quickly. Are we talking specifically just the Colosseum fights or entire film fights?
No, just what is the most jaw-dropping action sequence? It doesn't have to be Coliseum. It could be any of the fights. What one was like an action sequence where you were like it got you excited? You're like, this is good. And what was one that you're like, eh? If I had to cut one, this would be the one I'd cut.
All right, so I'm gonna totally disagree with your opening thoughts on the film because I feel like
He
the
likes the opening scene. Yes.
opening fight was good. The Navy
Oh, it was
coming
so
in,
bad.
and I don't know, like maybe do you have like a 4K TV or something, and you were playing the film in like 2K resolution that it looked bad and cheap? Because I was like, this looks like they had a fleet of ships there, not CGI ships. So I was quite impressed with how the graphics of the the Roman Navy coming in was. But it had it all. Like it
It
introduced our
just
main.
looked fake to me. Like it looked like I could tell. Like movies are done so well now
Yeah.
that you know it's not real, but fuck, it looks real. Like to me, I was like, I know this isn't real, but also it doesn't really look real. Anyways,
So,
Mm.
so that
so
point,
that's your,
my favorite one was the first fight because it gave you characters. It gave you, it was basically your inciting incident, obviously, because the wife died. The general introduction, the revenge person that he wanted to follow, all of that stuff, and it showed the breadth of the Roman Empire was spreading out. It was going into Africa now. It was getting quite large, and they like the emperors even made the point later. They were like, "We got to take wherever it was India and wherever else they said, like Turkey or something." They mentioned two specific areas. But that one I was like, I was like, oh, this. I was like, what the heck? This is why I was like, why are Justin and Kate turning this film off in 10 minutes? Like this is a good opening scene. It's not epic, but it is on a certain scale. It was epic. So that one I would keep. The one that I would remove actually. Well, the sharks of the water battle I don't think were necessary, but the battle itself I thought was very good. The battle with the baboons I thought was unnecessary. Not to a degree. I didn't like the CGI of the baboons. I'm like, these look like mutant zombie baboons, not like a wild one that you would find in Africa. So I was like, and why are they so riled up? Like I didn't understand. Like they were just crazy. I was like, these don't even look. Again, it's like I've never seen one in the wild look like that, ever. Just
Right.
huge mouth, huge teeth. They're
Evolution.
all strung out. I know that they can be quite ferocious, but I was like looking at those ones going, yeah, I don't know.
I will. There's certain things I definitely agree with Hayden with. Okay, so let's go back to the first opening battle scene. I think there were definitely parts where it took me out, but when I watched it in theaters, I thought it was a good scene to set the mood because I remember the sound of it was very it kind of shook me to my core a little bit, the booming and like the low rumbles and stuff like that. It was exciting in that sense. I thought the choreography was decent. Jumping to I think the one I would take away, the one that I kind of like when I was watching it was the water one. I like the idea. I thought the execution of it just wasn't great. The baboon one, as silly as it was, that's the one that made me go like, oh, like because I in my head I know how dangerous those fucking things can be, and they can like rip you apart. Yeah, they do have giant fangs, but yeah, they shouldn't be coked up and fucking just like rabid or something. I don't know. Maybe they were given some sort of drug or something. But yeah, I remember thinking, watching in theaters, oh, if the other fight scenes in the Coliseum is kind of like this sort of, I don't know why I was just on edge watching them fight baboons, and yeah, I do agree it doesn't look that great, but I remember thinking like, oh shit, they're fucking about to like get
It was
owned,
a
that
good
kind of thing.
fight, yeah, but I was taken out of it because of the way that
Yes,
the
I,
design of
yeah,
the
yeah, I understand.
creatures
It's
was.
it reminded me a little bit of, I don't know if you guys remember, but the first Jumanji with Robin Williams, the monkeys in that looked really weird. And that's kind of the same kind of feel I had for the baboons. It's like, yeah, you know they're supposed to be baboons, and sure they kind of look like it, but there's something off, and that's kind of, yeah, whatever.
And
Um, Wait,
I'm just gonna
Justin,
keep
we have you?
talking for a little bit
Yeah.
more. The rhino battle was it was good and bad. I was like, oh crap, okay, they've got a rhino. Someone is definitely gonna get impaled by a rhino tusk, and sure enough, it happened. I've never seen a rhino move consistently enough to go, that's right, but I felt like it was moving too much like a horse. Yeah, he was riding it, obviously, but I was like, because parts of it, they had the gallop, and I've seen rhinos gallop and charge, but I've never seen it maneuver like that. Not to say that it doesn't maneuver like that, because I've never seen a rhino ridden by a human, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I honestly really doubt that happened in real life. Back in the day, I don't think they would have. I don't know how they can have possibly, I don't know, trained a fucking
Trained a
I don't know.
rhino.
It just so because they're aggressive. They're aggressive creatures. You know what I mean? They have really poor eyesight. You come close to them, they just fucking charge you. So that rhino battle, I vaguely remember it, and that's probably why I didn't pick it for anything, just because I vaguely remember. I do remember the guy coming out riding the rhino, and I was like, oh, this is no. You know,
He
that kind of-
uses the dust trick to, so it doesn't know how close the wall is, and the rhino just basically goes boof into the wall, gets knocked
yes.
out. Then the gladiator on top of the rhino comes out fighting.
Yes, the
But
best.
Yeah, for me that one could have been lost.
Fair.
Like
Fair.
let's go on for number 2.
the rhino one. Are you fucking counting now? Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's more. I think
I also-
you
I
have
didn't
a
like-
problem.
The Denzel and Mescal fight at the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fair. That was very lackluster.
Oh, I got lots of problems.
His armor
Yeah,
was very
I don't know.
strong.
The fight scene between them at the end, I don't know, it just seemed weird to me. Like the armies like confront, and then they just ride out to each other. You know, like why? I don't know. It just seemed weird, and then kind of anticlimactic. But I wish I liked the baboon scene. I thought there were some really cool deaths. You know, the emperors, I thought maybe could have had a you know, you like when you have characters like that, like it's like Joffrey in Game of Thrones. He's alive for so long, and you want him to die more than anybody else, and he's a terrible person, just horrible filth. And all these good people die, and you just watch Joffrey live on, and then you just can't wait for the death. Now, obviously, you don't have the time to build that up over a film, but I just felt like, I don't know, I wanted maybe more from their death scenes. But there's some cool fighting in it for sure. And the opening scene did get better for me. It was just quite literally like the very beginning. Once the battle kind of started and it was happening and they're off the boats and stuff. But I don't know, like I just remember I think it was like the first cut to him when he's like standing at the front of the ship and they're heading to take the fortress, you know? I was like, whoa. Like I felt like I was in the 90s and they were on an old, like it took me right out of the film. Like I was shocked. And maybe it was the TV I was watching it on. I don't know. But you know, there's a reason that when I restarted again, like you said, when I stopped it, I was 30 seconds away. You know, when I got back into it, like I was back into it, and I did enjoy that sort of opening sequence. But yeah, I want to move on here because we are getting close on time, and I want to pose a what if to you guys.
Sure.
A fun little what if. Which modern celebrity, like real life modern celebrity, would you most like to see thrown in the Colosseum? And not in a movie, I mean literally thrown in the Colosseum. Now, this can be because you'd like to see them get ripped apart by baboons or trampled by a rhino or take on 4 Valorians or 2 or maybe just one-on-one and get destroyed, or maybe you want to see if they can actually take on a gladiator or a guy on a rhino or 6 baboons.
I feel like there's a
Tell you
better
what, you
answer.
pick your
I feel,
pick your
yeah.
army. How about let's do this? Pick an army of 3 who you think would be good gladiators, real life. And Hayden's not allowed to pick any of the Hemsworth brothers. Because you know he's gonna pick
3.
Chris. You know that's his
Oh,
first
Well,
pick.
Liam and Chris, but maybe not the third one.
Luke.
No, I'm just kidding. Luke. Luke? Is it Luke?
I think it was Luke Hemsworth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because now the question for me it's a little bit different. Because like, if you pick 3, then I'm thinking the best 3 that I want to watch. That because originally,
Okay,
the
how
first
about
name
1
that came to mind, the
and
first
3?
Okay. So the first one that came to my mind was Jake Paul, because I want to see him just get destroyed.
Oh yeah,
Like that. I
Because
feel like
you'd
that
think
might be the
he's got it,
obvious
too.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So, and then when you said a team, okay, well, let's throw Logan
Ooh,
in
that's a
there, and
good
who
one.
else? You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good one.
yeah, because I feel like he's built for that
So
kind of
Jake
thing.
Paul for just a one-on-one because you.
Yeah, I feel like he'll like the whole like being in the Coliseum and he'll play it up and stuff like that. But when it comes to battle of survival, I want to see how and there's no chance that it's staged or scripted or whatever you want to call it. I want to see how he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, no holds barred. I
Okay.
remember reading about how he wanted to challenge the Mountain. And then did you guys read about that?
To what?
Like a fight, like like a straight up like a boxing fight or something like that. But then the Mountain came out and said like released the message, pretty much saying that like you're gonna get guaranteed this X amount of money, but you have to go down on like round whatever, that kind of thing.
So called
Yeah.
him out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just-
I don't think it's any secret that he does that. Well, you're thinking of your 3 super studs /
Yeah.
studettes. Hayden, what's your single?
My single.
Who's one person that you'd like, for better or worse? Yeah.
You might not know him, but he's going to be in the new Street Fighter film. But his name's Andrew Koji. And he was in a TV show called Warrior, which was based on Bruce Lee's writing. But I'm going to say he's an he's an Asian actor, and he can actually fight. He's a very good actor, and he's a phenomenal fighter as well. So, not necessarily an A-lister yet, I don't think. If this new Street Fighter film actually does somewhat good, I think that might level him up. But I just looked him up real quickly to tell you what he's been in. He's in Bullet Train. He's done Fast and the Furious 6. He was in Snake Eye, the G.I. Joe film. He's done big films, but he's never been the top draw card. But I watched him in Warrior, and he's got as a celebrity, like a film star who has a fight skill, I would pick him to see how he would do. Because I think that dynamic of an Eastern fighter with the Western civilization of Rome at the time, I think that would be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard for me to
There you
think
go.
of like like that Justin said, present day people, and I really want to see an actual good fighters fight. So I can't really think of any young kind of fighters right now that I can think of. Like, I mean, the first one that came to mind for some reason was Tony Jaa, but he's getting a little old as well. You know what I mean? But when he was in his prime, he was quick, he was fast, he's strong. I think that. So yeah, if I were to get an ultra team, I know this is bending the rules a little bit, but I wouldn't pick Jackie. I think Jackie's like more of a choreographed specialist. But I think like if you do like a Bruce, you do like a Tony in there. You do last one, I would do I don't know, maybe even fucking Iron Mike when in his prime or something like that. He's fast. He's fucking like built like a tank.
Ooh, Iron Mike in his prime.
You
Scary.
probably
See him
could have
throwing
taken
down
a
some
couple of.
baboons. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
he could take some sword cuts and some spear jabs, and he'd still go.
Yeah.
He would definitely bite. He would bite.
Yeah.
And we've lost Justin again.
Oh fuck.
There's another guy from the same Warrior TV show called Joe Taslim. He's in Mortal Kombat, so he's also a guy that can fight.
Wait, is this Warrior show like a TV show, or is it the one that they study martial arts? Like they dissect this martial arts against this martial arts?
No, it's actually a TV show. It went for
Okay.
3 seasons on Showtime, I think. And then it's on
I see.
Netflix. But it was based off of a pilot that Bruce Lee wrote about Chinese immigrants
Oh.
going to San Francisco, and then the gangs that are in San Francisco. So you have a
I
brother
remember
and
reading about that.
yeah, there's a brother and sister character. The sister is in one gang, and the brother comes over and joins the opposite gang, but that no one knows that they're related. And then of course there's the police at the time, so you've kind of got the Chinese fighting each other, fighting the police. It was really, really well done. And then of course it came to the 3rd season, and you're like, oh sweet, I'll wait for the 4th one, and then it got cancelled.
Oh fucking hell. I
And
hate
I'm
when that
like,
happens.
and I was hoping that when it came to Netflix, the popularity came up again. And you know how sometimes when that
Oh,
happens,
and they would buy right.
they would buy
Yeah,
a
yeah.
4th season, but the popularity was there, but I don't think it's getting a 4th season. But it deserves one to finish off. It's one of those shows where they didn't think they were getting cancelled, so they wrote the story arcs to continue on into a new season. Then it gets
Right.
cancelled, and you're like, oh, I don't know what happens with these characters. But they're all in it. They're all trained. Most of them are already trained fighters, and the ones that aren't get trained, like have been trained obviously, and have continued on since. So they're all, and it's freaking amazing. Like if you like the storyline without the fighting is still a very good show, and then you add the fighting on top of it, and it's like, it's think
Nice,
Peaky
have to check it out.
Blinders, but Peaky Blinders had like martial arts fights in it. You'd be like,
Oh, that's fucking amazing. Justin,
Sold. He's sold.
Did Hayden, you end up giving like a solid answer?
yeah, the first guy was the guy that I would like to see go in to win.
Yeah, the Street Fighter guys.
I don't have anyone that I hate enough to be like, I would love to see them get their ass handed to them in the Gladiator ring.
Yeah, I don't want to see anyone die. Okay, it's just when I put Jake Paul in there, I don't want to see him die or a baboon rip his face apart. I just want
Just
him to
lose.
be humbled. I want him to be humbled. That's all. That's all.
Just humbled by a gladiator or a baboon.
Yeah.
Baboon?
Yeah.
Baboon.
Baboon. Yeah.
Have it
Do you
sit
have
on
a
his
Do you
face.
have a ultimate team? Like, would you rather make your ultra team of 3 to win, or do you want to see someone?
I have an ultra team of 3,
Oh, I didn't give two.
and I'll let
but
you do
doesn't
the
matter.
deciding.
Oh.
Or was that question to me or Hayden?
Well,
Or hey, do
You
you,
go,
have your team
Justin.
of 3? Oh, yes.
You go before we lose you again.
What do you mean? I've been here the whole time.
I know.
That's
I
weird.
know. Before you lose me again, I'm
we-
like,
That's
That's really weird.
That's a really weird thing to say, dude. Do I glaze over that bad when you guys are talking? Shit.
yeah, you ask a question and you just go,
No, my 3 would be, yeah, tune out for a bit. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Gary Busey.
What did Busey do?
Gary Busey at the end there was a little bit of a curve. Didn't expect that one.
Well, I think he's batshit crazy, and buddy would just get confused or scared by him. And Elon's very smart, and Donald Trump never loses. So I don't know how you could beat those three.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point, actually.
Well, we know that
Yeah.
Trump would draft
Right?
dodge somehow. He would be like, "I've got bone spurs. I can't fight in the ring."
Got flat feet. Got flat
Yeah.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be my power three. Okay, anyways, that's enough about that. I think we've wasted enough time. Well, maybe not. Anyways, that's it for us, folks. Have you watched Gladiator 2 yet? What do you think about it? Actually, I'm going to do this new thing when we're watching shows, okay? We're going to give it a rating, okay? So I'm going to give it a chummy thumb up. Shao?
How many thumbs up? Are we doing a gladiator thing here?
Chummy thumb up.
Mine's angled at around 80 degrees.
Okay, 80 degrees. Hayden?
I'm still gonna give it a thumbs up. There were
All
flaws,
right,
but I
you have
enjoyed it.
here. Yeah, 3 chummy thumb up. If you haven't checked it out, it is worth a watch. It's not a perfect film, but for a sequel done 25 years later, it is still pretty good. It's got some good action sequences, decent storylines, maybe a few too many, but all in all, it's a pretty good film. So Shao has now got 8 fingers up. Anyways, if you've been digging the show, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow us on all major social media platforms. Chummy Thumbs. And until next week, folks, keep
Keep on thumbing.